Any custom sleeve starts the same way, with a basic sleeve block. Bishop sleeves are super fun, and they have this really beautiful fullness at the bottom as opposed to at the top where they have just a regular smooth sleeve cap. To draft a bishop sleeve, you're going to need to divide your basic sleeve block into quarters, cut it out, and then tape it to a big piece of paper right at that top point so you have room to pivot. Mark your quarter point at the hem of the sleeve and then pivot your sleeve over about 3 inches, but it'll depend on how full you want your sleeve to look. Once you're done it on the first side, you're going to mark the same quarter and pivot again on the second side and retrace again. Honestly, this is how most pattern alterations work. You're either making more darts or slashing and spreading it apart for more fullness. Once you have your sides sorted out, you retrace your hem so it's the correct length. Obviously, this is a smaller version and it's a little bit messy, but that's what your pattern piece would look like for a very basic bishop sleeve. And here's the grain line. Now, this is super basic. It adds about 6 inches of fullness in total. If you want it super exaggerated, you're going to need to really slash and spread. There are a bunch of tutorials out there on slashing and spreading all sorts of different types of pattern pieces, but basically you are cutting into the pattern piece so that you get some of the same measurements. Like at this point, the sleeve head is not going to change measurements, but the sleeve hem is going to be spread apart, so there's a lot more fullness for your bishop sleeve. In this case, I've cut my pattern into 8 pieces. You want to cut it into a lot of different pieces to ensure sort of a smoother and more accurate pattern change. To spread it apart, I usually start at the center and move out. I start by moving my center pieces away from center and then every piece a little bit further away from the piece before it. Now, obviously, this is just a little mock-up that I'm doing. It's not even really to scale. This is just to show you the basic principles of how it would work. Once you have fixed your pieces all spread apart, then you retrace your pattern piece until you have something that looks a little bit like this. Obviously, for a full-size pattern piece, you're going to want to measure this, and you're also going to want to keep measuring to make sure that your length is accurate. You might even want to add a little bit of length depending on how dramatic you want your sleeve to be. But in the end, this is what it looks like. Finally, I have to say that textbooks like Pattern Making for Fashion Design have all of these instructions plus a whole bunch more, so I highly recommend them.